extend a warm welcome to all present here for this insightful session on From Idea to Impact, a guide to navigate research grants. This session, organized by the Library Committee of SES Shridhara Kakula College of Commerce and Management Studies, is aimed at training us with valuable knowledge on securing research grants. We are honored to have with us today our esteemed resource person, Dr. G. Srinivas, Deputy Director at Indira Gandhi National Open University under the Ministry of Education, Government of India. To begin the proceedings, I humbly request our Principal, Vice Principal and Librarian, Dr. Shobha Karikar, to escort our resource person to the dais.
Yes.
Now, to formally commence the session, I invite our Principal to deliver the welcome address.
Guest speaker of today's function, Dr. Srinivasan, Vice Principal, Smriti Bosar, Dr. Shobha Karikar, faculty members, dear friends. I'm extremely happy to invite you all for this session or seminar, workshop on the research grants. Research is very important in higher education. In fact, I always say that a person who joins in higher education should think of doing the PhD or completing the research. It is not just like entering higher education and without doing anything, getting the positions. It should not be. No. Research, that should be the objective of a person when you think of joining this in higher education. I have to complete the PhD, I have to do the PhD, or I have to publish the research papers. By doing the research, it's not only your becoming the expertise in your subject, but it helps the students. The research, in fact, the NET, the criteria, research grants for the research funding, and where we write our the self-study report, our everything in criteria, I think it is in criteria 3, research and consultancy and etc. So our college parties, as you say, we have all clean because no one had tried for the getting the research grant, either from the UGC or ICSSR or other funding agencies. There are so many funding agencies are there. Person who thinks of writing the research papers may think of this research grant. I remember when I completed my PhD, immediately I wrote a proposal to the UGC. That time UGC was sanctioning the minor research project, and I got it one minor research project. After completing that, again I applied for the minor research project, but at that time the UGC had stopped giving the minor research grants to the minor research project. I remember when I went in first at the NEC PhD member in Shillong and the Shillong College. There I have observed that those colleges, in that college, they were, college is to sponsor the funds for the completing the research project, and small the amount 3,000, 5,000, 7,000 rupees was the maximum 7,000 something. And many teachers from that colleges only they applied and they take the benefit of that 3,000, 5,000 and the research projects as well. And same concept I remember I started here and we started a couple of minor research projects. And it was hardly, but the response was not good from the teachers. Hardly 5 of us, including me, as this was the Reshma, I don't remember other two, something 5 of them were applied for this couple of minor research grants. We got it up to the maximum 20,000 rupees. Management had sanctioned that time 20,000 rupees. That also I again continued to the further, but response of the feedback of the teacher, the response from the teacher was not there. So we didn't get a response or good response, and we stopped that way. In fact, teachers should think of writing the research paper. Nowadays, those who are the young teachers who are doing the PhDs, for them is the publication was before that synopsis presentation, then all publication is compulsory. Publishing the papers even for the assistant professor, associate professor. Now getting the assistant professor degree is very difficult. From the assistant professor to the assistant earlier, because good without just for the seniority, on the basis of the seniority, you have been promoted from the assistant professor to the assistant professor, or senior scale to the selection scale. Now you have to be the assistant professor. But then sometimes it feels like as a teacher I should think of doing the research, I should think of doing the research, publishing the papers, or I should think of preparing the research proposal, funding agency. And we had organized earlier also, it is not the first time we are organizing, so we have talked regarding this of the research proposal preparing, but we had organized the talk, but then encouragement, motivation for the teachers is required. I'm not observing in the staff and the research papers later. But good that now we find those who are doing the PhD, for that they are more interested in the publishing the research papers. Gajanan has published my papers, Kavi has published papers. Good, but then I am happy that Dr. Shobha has taken initiative in inviting Dr. Srinivasan for guiding us in preparing the research proposal. And it is not difficult for preparing the research proposal. If you think of that, yes, I will do it regarding that, it is possible. And most of the senior teachers, I think we are in all colleges, I think, they are guiding the research TY projects. I think I had several times also I said regarding that. Even TY project also, you that particular topic, if you work on that particular, you can publish one paper. The topic which are so even TY project, the same you can by adding with some statistical techniques you can think of preparing the proposal and then send something to the different funding agencies. So, but I am happy that this trend has taken it and hope that Dr. Srinivasan will encourage us, motivate us in writing the research proposal. Writing is very, at least proposal should go from the college, that is very important. Whether it is sanctioned, not sanctioned, it is not in your hand. It should go, hope that maybe now UGC is not, that some other funding agencies may come and we may getting some research project. And that helps for the next. See, somewhere also, teachers should think of, my contribution should be there also in the institutions. When criteria is given to that, I remember one of the teachers saying, nothing is there, but this is not there, this is not there, this is not there. And my work is over. No, it is not there. If it is not there, then we have to think of how it can be made real. So it is, even teachers should think of it. My contribution is besides teaching, in the research or maybe in the getting the project, somewhere you should think of regarding my contribution to the institution. And if it is there, if you think, I am sure that you will think of writing the research proposal, finding the funding agencies or searching the different papers for publishing, etc. It is possible. So I wish all the best for this seminar, workshop, and hope that some research proposal will come to me for sending to the different funding agencies. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I request librarian ma'am, Dr. Shobha Karikar, to introduce our resource person. Good afternoon all. Today we have with us Dr. G. Srinivas, Deputy Director, IGNOU Regional Center, Goa. He has total teaching experience of 15 years and administrative experience of 13 years. He presented papers at various national as well as international seminars, workshops. As a course director for the 14 days capacity building workshop on research methodology for young social science faculty members, social science faculty members at Goa, which was fully sponsored by ICSSR New Delhi. He has several publications and has about 7 UGC Cambridge journals. He acted as editor of books, journals and conference papers. He delivered numerous lectures, keynote addresses in various institutions in the state of Goa. So here we have Dr. G. Srinivas with us. Let's welcome him with huge round of applause. I know you are all eager to listen to our resource person. To honor our guests, we would like to present floral tokens. I request Vice Principal Smriti Porkar to present a plaque to our esteemed resource person, Dr. G. Srinivas. I now request Ms. Kushi to present plaques to our principal. Vice Principal. Librarian Dr. Shobha Karikar. Without further delay, I now invite Dr. G. Srinivas to take over and enlighten us with the session.
Start? Condition number 1. Anytime you feel bored, even if it is up 15 minutes, you have to indicate and stop. Are you with me? Yes? And look, you are not students now. All teachers, right? This is my first condition. Condition number 2. Let's stop money. Condition number 3 is, at the end of my session, I want at least 2 or 3 research proposals to get ready. And if I do not do that, then probably this would be one of my most unsuccessful lecture series ever I have delivered. Friends, I was very hesitant to come to this college for I think for a number of years. So I was getting some invites, but I said I was ignoring this college. I said I will not come to this college. But it happened like, I decided that let's come to this college and speak to our young social scientists. I believe you are all social scientists. There are 2 ways of delivering this content to you. Number 1, I rely upon these boring slides which I have prepared and bore you sufficiently for next maybe 30-40 minutes. Or second is, I listen to your heart and speak my heart. What do you wish? And the most important condition is you have to speak. Because unless you speak, I don't understand where you stand. Because I need to build upon from that particular brick where exactly you are at present situation. Otherwise there is no point. It will be around just beating around the bush. Fine. So let me start with a simple basic fundamental. You all are probably the assistant professors, associates, and also some supervising professor. I know professors are here. Maybe a few more. So my talk is largely not for professors. It is for assistant professors basically. So how many assistant professors are here? Majority. So rest will be associates or professors. Now my basic question, whenever I have sat in any of the interview panels, my basic question to the candidate who is getting a post of assistant professor is, I would simply ask them, please tell me the difference between a teacher and an assistant professor. The very first basic question. You see, if you could convincingly tell me about the difference between a teacher and an assistant professor, you are almost 50% into a job. So my question to all the assistant professors, excuse associates and professors, what is your primary job? As an assistant professor, why you are called as assistant professors and not a teacher?
Normally in school there will be
Yes. Why you are not a teacher and you are called as assistant professor as per the UGC? Yeah.
I feel, means as per the name, okay, I will not talk about the reality, but as a teacher meaning where we will teach the student, meaning like a spoon feeding and everything will be given by the teacher, that is. When we talk about assistant professor here, teacher should have a skill how to bring answer from the student. Okay, means he will see that he will not giving the school, means what to say, like student should contribute. Okay, as a teacher he can describe or say experimental thing and this, but the answer should come from this, means like a constructive teaching should happen, where teacher has to tell means various angle and student will be able to jot down means those previous knowledge with current knowledge, he has to connect. So in that assisting, this assistant professor is useful, like a guidance.
Okay, got your answer. Tell me the basic meaning of professor, profess. What do you mean by profess? You know the meaning of teach, teacher, teach. What is profess?
We are, as an assistant professor, we are doing some knowledge building.
Now, profess like company knowledge simply profess like it is and Magda meaning for Friends, got the difference, you know, where we are stuck? Yes? See, remember, we all are assistant professors and whatever it is, but we are unable to digest ourselves. What are we actually? What do you mean by profess? And I am a professor. Profess, kitne लोगों ने ना professor झाले. This is our major problem. What is profess? Profess is to guide, okay? Any guess box now at least? Spread knowledge, motivate,
Knowledge building.
knowledge building,
Convince.
Profess, you said convince? Yes. Profess is to convince. Assistant professor means you try to assist in convincing the what? Convincing the content. When you go with some content into a classroom, your primary job is not to deliver or teach that content, but you need to convince that content. You need to make the student convinced about that particular content. Now look at our rules. We never try to convince students. What we try to do? We try to deliver the content. Delivering the content is a primary job of a teacher. When we are higher education professionals, we need to convince it. And that is why since you are a newly appointed assistant professor, you are not knowledgeable enough to convince the content. Getting my point? What do you mean by knowledgeable enough? Now, for example, if I take Professor Saab here, he is already a professor, he is not assisting to convince the content. He is already a professor, which means he is far more knowledgeable as compared to assistant professor or associate professor, because he is in terms of UGC terminologies, professor is someone we say that he has wisdom about that content. Whereas assistant professor's job is to travel the journey of convincing the content, associate professor further convincing to reach to a point called as wisdom about any particular topic. You understood? And that's the reason why we are called as PhDs philosophy. We are doctorate of philosophy in that particular content, because you have reached that I could convince this particular part to the entire world with my research work. Am I right? Yes? So that's what the assistant professorship is. But unfortunately, what has happened in our academic world is, आपने net कर दिया, post graduation net, and we are kicked into a classroom without any training, and we are told आता शिकवाय. आमचे काम शिकवप नाही, आमचे काम convince करपा. Convince about the content. Now, what is the basic difference between a teaching and a convincing? How do you teach or how do you? What is the basic difference? I'll come to a research part later. Yeah.
Teaching meaning normally whatever is there, like a Google thing, you are copy pasting everything. But when we talking convincing, we have to give the logic behind it, all the theory part.
Finish. Important thing is logic. Baba, idea. And question, what, why, how are the integral part of your assisting or assistant professor? आम्ही what, why, how सोडटा आणि आम्ही content फाटलेला. And that's our basic problem, because we are not trained. We are not trained. Like for example, today you go to any say AI tools, you go to a chat GPT, okay, and just try to put something. He is able to think over it, and convincingly he is giving an answer for you, and you are getting sufficiently convinced. Yes? Now think of our role as an assistant professor. When I go to a class, deliver a content, try to convince them in a form of convincing, but they are not convinced. They are not getting convinced. Why? Because the basic problem with us is we are not able to deliver the content in a form of convincing. Agree with this? This is a fault of our entire system. It is not your fault or my fault. Okay, we all are part of the system. So we have forgotten our primary role. If you remember in 1994, if I remember the year 1994 or 96, if I remember the year correctly, earlier we were lecturers. We were all lecturers. From lecturer, they said no lecturing. Why no lecturing? Because that is removed, and we were made 3 designation as per the international standards: assistant, associate, and professor. Assistant professor is a job of his job is to travel towards the journey of wisdom. Associate professor, really knowledgeable. Professor, wisdom. That's why you are a professor. Understood? Now, as an assistant professor, if I can slightly go ahead, let us look into these things. As an assistant professor, if we can answer these questions, who are we? We call ourselves as the teacher. From today onwards, forget that you are a teacher. No, I am a convincer. My job is to convince. Your job is not to teach. The moment you start getting convinced about this convincing, your role is done. The entire mindset changes. अरे पैसा तो वैसे भी है. I said let's talk money. There is immense amount of money. We just need to write something. I will tell you how to write also. I am not here today to tell about the research methodology, objectives कसे बरोबरचे, gaps कसे identify करपाचे. No, that everyone knows. My only thing today is how to play in this particular game. Playing is more important. if you know the tricks of playing this particular game, there's lots of money. There's lots and lots of money. I will tell you certain examples also, like how and from where you can get the money. What do you need? You need to write convincingly. It is convincing writing is called as drawing money. There is so much of money. Government says, I mean, I can give you examples of certain departments where I am associated with. They say, अरे हमारे पास पैसा है, मांगने वाला नहीं है, और मांगते हैं भी तो ऐसे, beating around the bush. Beating around the bush म्हणजे की आमको इतने objectives काटता है, आमको ते लेयर करते रहते, तसे नाही ना ते. They don't want that. They want specifics. I'll come to that how it happens. So, who are you? Wow. What is your primary role? Convincing what? See, this game is very simple. Probably you have all come to a phase called as having a girlfriend boyfriend. Yes? Yes? Let us take a primary role of a girlfriend or a boyfriend. You go to a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Okay, your role is to? Got it? Your role is to convince. तू आम्हाला deliver करपा गेला. I mean, पडेले स्लाइडीचे सगळे PPTs आणि मला त्याचा deliver केलो. नहीं पटेगी लड़की. Role is to convince the content. Understood? What are we doing presently? What are we doing? You can respond so that we can hurry up fast.
Delivering.
Huh?
Teaching, delivering the lecture.
We are trying to deliver. We are trying to deliver. तो ये deliver जाता का नाते हमका खबर ना. We are trying to deliver. Understood? Next is what impact it has. This is more important for me. What impact it has with your delivery. Just some time back, sir was telling me that if I say that the student there is a special lecture series, तो बुर्गे धावता म्हणता तो. तो बुर्गे धावता. Now I was really surprised. Of course, हांव धावता एक टाइमर. But why that happens? Why this happens? I bet in my session तुम्ही धावून दाखवूया. I can bet on this. Because I am not trying to tell you what is, I am not trying to deliver you anything. I am only trying to convince you. So, what impact it has? The impact of your mere delivery will lead to a great loss for our nation. It's a huge loss. And I don't know if there are any methodologies, I don't know if there are any economics people here, if there are any standard methodologies to calculate this economic loss of your impact in the classrooms on the nation's economy. There has to be some mechanism if you get into the subjective. Now what is this? For example, I am given a role of an assistant professor. I have told that these many hours in a week you have to get into the classroom and deliver the sessions or convince the content. You go there and try to deliver the sessions, not convincingly. What impact it will have? If our students, by and large, are not able to get convinced with the content, whose fault it is? Whose fault it is? Many people say it's a fault of the student. I will say never. It is not the fault of the student. It is a fault of us who are a part of the system, who have been pushed into the classroom without training. Our minds are not trained to convince the students. Our minds are trained that we are teacher जावपाचो आणि ते वचून टीचिंग करपाचे आणि आम्ही PPT करता. We are doing, but nowadays with PPTs we are gone. So friends, you need to understand that it has a great negative impact of you not convincing the context. Imagine a student who has already got convinced with the fundamental content. I have a cell phone. If I give the cell phone to Patkar sir and the same cell phone give it to my daughter who is about 7 years old. Is that right? Saab is professor. My daughter is yet to enter into proper schooling. Who plays well with the cell phone? Q. Why? Why? Because she has no set frame. ताका सिलेबस ना ताका सेट फ्रेम्स ना सरा गाइडलाइन्स आसा हे आमले कितें जातले काय ते आनी कितें जायत काय माय डॉटर वूड प्ले very easily. That freedom is missing. When I say what impact it has, our bindings has created a great impact, and that impact is having on a very great negative impact on our nation. Anyway, what loss it has, of course I have already told you. Can we make a change? My core is this, can we make a change? Yes, of course we have to make a change, and we can make a change. And what is that change? Stop going into the classes. Classroom awesome na? We are not needed in the classroom. Our chat GPT is our real professors. आमची गरज आसा भुरग्यांक क्लासीन. What do you feel? Do you think we are required in the classroom? No. Friends, your job is not to go in the classroom and teach. Your job is to create something new. Something new, and that's why I call all these people as the social scientists. You are a scientist. You are not the teachers in the name of assistant professors. When you call yourself as a scientist, then your brain starts thinking in that order. The basic lacuna what we all have is this. We don't have that mindset. I think just a couple of minutes, I don't know, some teacher was talking to me, I think sir, I don't know, they were talking to me saying that we have problem with SPSS. आमकां तो खंयचो फॉर्मुला खंय लावपाक जाता कळना. फॉर्मुला लावपाक आमकां धरुना. We are not here to know all the tests, and it is impossible to know all the tests. That job is to be done by somebody else. You are here to only think. And I'll share you a few more examples. Now, as a social scientist, now by this time you are aware that you are a social scientist, or you can become a social scientist. We are not yet. The moment you are feeling bored, you have to tell me. You all will go. You are convinced that you can become a social scientist? Yes. Why? Why you need to become a social scientist? I love talking to the social science faculties more rather than the STEM faculties, because I'm not a science guy, but social science has more impact. Why? Because we are dealing with so many problems. Why social science research matters? Social science research matters more as compared to any other discipline. Why? Because the component of social sciences is in more abundant as compared to any other part. Am I right? Yes. There are more problems in social sciences, and that's why we are all assistant professors to professors in every particular area. Very recently, the UGC, in the National Education Policy, there is a concept called as every district should have a university and every college should become autonomous. What about this? It's a mandate that every college should become an autonomous. What do you mean by autonomy? Yes, autonomous means if you leave about the entire curricular aspects, okay, autonomous means autonomy in thinking. It's not about that frame. Autonomy about thinking. Like for example, in MAPSA, if you have this particular college as an autonomous college, what is the impact of this particular college in the entire taluka? That's what the autonomy is. It's simple. It's so simple. Imagine that there is a doctor who has passed from your region, from your area, from your town or from your city, whatever it is. He has passed, and he is putting a clinic over there. Is there an impact of that particular doctor in that particular city or in that particular town, village, etc.? So many people will go to them or him with the problems, right? Imagine an assistant professor or a professor with PhD passing out. I mean a social scientist passing out. Any college in Basla. I'm relating that clinic to the doctor's clinic to that college. Autonomy means when you have so many social scientists sitting over here, the people from surrounding areas with their problem should come to you and say, this is the problem, can you get a solution? And माहिती किती पाहिजे? आमचे काम फक्त चिंतपाचे. Because आम्ही भुरग्यांक convince करता, and in that process we are also trying to get convinced, and probably we are trying to identify a solution for a particular. That is what the autonomy means. Very misunderstood concept. आमचे खूप जण असं autonomy म्हणल्यार ते syllabus आणि ते ना. Autonomy is this. You are all the doctors in the surrounding areas in your respective disciplines. So what it matters, social science, because you will shape the policies. I'll just discuss one small incident which has happened 3-4 years ago. I have a friend in a tribal ministry, government of India, a bureaucrat friend. They were trying to do a study. They were trying to collect the data of a particular tribe which is from Andhra Pradesh. And they were trying to get the reports on what studies have been done by the entire social scientists who are there in our country on that particular tribe, small tribe. And you know what is the irony? Though we have so many social scientists in our country, okay, the authentic data set was not available. We could not give any data set to them. Meaning, we all collectively, the ministry or maybe from all the universities across, the authentic data set was not available. Can we shape the policies? ताजे upliftment करू शकता आम्ही, when there is no data set काम केल्यामध्ये. Our job is to create that data set in the form of research. We need to have that culture. हम तो बुरी तरह से फंस गए यार इस क्लासरूम में जाके सिलेबस कंप्लीशन में. आम्ही सिलेबस कंप्लीट म्हणताना मग sorry sir, but I feel so tired about this. आम्ही मला सिलेबस कंप्लीट करू शकता. Can you complete a syllabus of any content or any subject? It is impossible. But our system has become in such a way. So what I am trying to say is, as a social scientist, you should at least try to shape or give the contribution in shaping the policies, which is really evidence-based. We need facts. We need data sets. Economic impact, of course, it is there. Society, the transformation of the society. Can we transform the society? आमका प्रोफेसर केला ट्रान्सफॉर्म करपा सोसायटी in the form of intellect output. We don't do that. Okay. Finally, health and well-being, and of course there is a concept called as SDGs or the Sustainable Development. Now, I'll not come much to this. Let me deep into actual. Question is there? Question is there? I'm not joking. I'm a very serious guy in this matter. Zai Bullshit. अरे मागा तरी जाय म्हणून. We have to love money. When I say money, we have to love academic money. पैसा बहुत है. बस we need to write. And there are some techniques in writing. I'll come to this if time permits. There are some techniques in writing. What is writing? Today you write a very good proposal sitting in Saraswat College and you send it to X funding agency. Okay? A funding agency वाला जो screening है बसता नहीं तो किती करता? We have a very wrong impression that we get money by looking at our proposals. Now, before actually getting into your proposals, they look into the biodata and the name of the institution. आणि त्यांनी म्हणले हो तिथे हरमला एक कॉलेज असा हरमल कॉलेज काट्टा सायडीन दवरता मागीर पळयलो. You are getting my point? How it happens? Imagine you sit as a screening committee member, and the moment you have a very unknown type of a college or a university or whatever it is, they say चलो देते हैं, मतलब रखते हैं साइड में, because the lot is about more than 500. There are 500 proposals. Okay, first to जातील Saraswat, Harmal, बारीक में, and that to what? एक कुछ proposal. कोणाचे? Example के तौर पे डॉक्टर शोभा. डॉक्टर शोभा Saraswat College मागता 30 लाख. 30 lakhs. 30 lakhs कित्याक ताका major researchers imagine the grant ceiling is 30 lakhs. Will it be considered? Will it be considered? No. कित्याक विश्वास ना? तो no pay motel. Friends, जाऊचे ना. A same example I'll give you. Okay? Dr. Shobha Karekar, okay, and an assistant professor from NIT Kumboli, NIT Goa. Same proposal. किती झाले? क्यों? हाँ? Because it has name. Saraswat NIT obviously there is a name. Okay? But आम्ही किती करता? ताचे नाव आहे घालपाचे. Because काम तुका करचें पडटा. NIT वाला काम करचो ना. Because NIT doesn't need 30 lakhs. Because his funding is, it's well, they in total they get about 300 crores. So it's 30 lakh. But what happens is you can always have a very good friend of institutions of a national importance. Academic friend. ताका सांगपाचें फक्त तुजें नांव दी. You become my co-project director, co-PD, co-investigator. हम कर लेंगे सब कुछ. पैसा तो इन्हीं के पास आएगा. As a project director, पैसा तो सर के पास आएगा. co-PD आसा थे. कहता जगह चाहे वेला जाता. But his name is very important, and that's called as collaboration. Now, if I may ask you, do you have any NIT, IITs, Ayush friends? The answer is answer. त्यांचे कॅम्पस आम्ही 5 सुद्धा दिना.
Principal investigator.
Of course, this you go it as co-investigator, not me. मला तुमच्याकडे पैसे होते ना, काय होत नाही. होय. आमका पैसे आमचा आहे, सरस्वतंत्र आहे. Yes, principal investigator has to be you. If it is single, no, a big no. Now she is librarian. A combination of library and say some technical person or maybe engineering person, etc. On the face it looks like असली चलपाना proposal. चलतले library गय, engineering गय, या कसं असू शकता? I'm not talking about the topic. I'm not talking about the problem. They're different. But today we are all saying about multidisciplinarity. तू solo गेलो. We need multidisciplinarity. Have you read the regulations, UGC regulations, just about 20 days back, draft regulations? What it's saying? Only about multidisciplinarity. Come on, 3, 4, 5 disciplines come together. We have that commerce, economics, science, that now. So the primary thing is, most important is try to have a friends from this national importance and try to rope into your proposals. You write everything, you do everything, okay, but get his name. In my case, I do that. I have a very unique way of dealing these things. My thing is, so imagine if I was Patkar sir, I would have not come here. If I was sitting here, another way, okay? One, I have explained you about getting collaboration. If you need to use such platforms, because you are giving me this bouquet and whatever it is, okay? This platform has to be used. How you are going to use? You please get the people from where the source of the fund rises, emerges. I will not give a single rupee to you as a university. But imagine a director of tribal affairs, Government of Goa. Let us take an example of Government of Goa Director of Tribal Affairs. Let him talk whatever it is. And after 10-15 days, slowly they go back a proposal. Sir, tribal achar, we want to do this particular state. Do we have the fund? Fund असा का ना ते आमकां खबर ना. तो जेन्ना हांगा येतलो चाय बसयता आसतना ताचे कडल्यान काडून घेवपाचें. One example, Dr. Srinivas, you may be knowing, Deputy Secretary UGC. when you wrote the minor research proposal. He was the UGC under secretary that time. Then became deputy secretary. I met him once, Banamurthy sir barobar. I had to drop him at one example, just to make you understand how to get the money. He had come for some function and we had to drop him at Pato, Panjim bus stop to go to, I think, Hyderabad. So when he was talking, he said that he is a management guy. He said that this particular year, ministry has allocated money, a large portion of the money for management, okay, and within management, they are focusing on sustainable management and environment. This was the conversation, a casual conversation that day, was tender. I was there, Banamurthy sir was there, and Srinivas was there. A very casual conversation. What did he say? He said this year, large portion of money allocation is for management. Within that, it is for sustainable management, focus on environment. So I noted 3 things. Management, yes. Sustainable management, and
Focusing on environment.
you know what I did? I was a lecture basis guy that time. I started as a lecture basis guy. Banamurthy was my guru. Banamurthy said, "अरे आप लिख दो ना." तो सर क्या लिखेंगे? तो प्रपोजल बरे बेटा, minor research. तो सर मात्र तसे कळना काय? अरे बरे माहिती आहे. So I interwoven all these 3 things. He said, "तू कितेही कर. Try to use these 3 things in your problem statement, in your title. Environment, sustainable development and management." I wrote a proposal. The proposal title is, I may forget about it, but I will tell you. The proposal title was Solid Waste Management, a Sustainable Model of Margao Town. 2 lakh आले. 2 lakhs. आता बस स्टँडार पावपाक गेलो. 3 वर्ड्स कळ्ळे. प्रपोजल डन. पैसा. Got the thing? And now instead of this, तुम्ही आणि कितें बरोवपाचें? लायब्ररी, बिब्लियोमेट्रिक्स, बिब्लियोग्राफी आणि कितें तशें. पयशे आशिल्ले? ना, because allocation ना तुका. There is no allocation. So friends, what I am trying to do is, you should have that networking. Networking with whom? If a tribal director is available, ताका विचारपाचें की सेंटरांतल्यान खंयचे सेगमेंटाक एलोकेशन येता. सर हांगा येता, खंय पयशे मोडना, हांगा मोडना. So accordingly, because you are a social scientist, you have to think on that, because we have to play with money. We need money. The problem is, we need money to run these things. So this is how you have to network yourself and understand the allocation. You are all the commerce students and commerce college, so budget तो आपके हाथ में होते हैं. Union budget. In the union budget, tax कोणाचे कितले कमी झाला, 12.5 लाख झाला, 12 लाख 70. No, that is not important. Education को कितना allocation है, research को कितना allocation है, within that social science research को कितना allocation है, and how many times the finance minister is focusing on certain words. Which are those words? If the person is telling again and again, climate change, money is coming there. Money is coming there. Very interesting feature I will share with you, which has happened about November 2024, 2 months back. 2 months back, there was a news article. No, sorry, it was some news article on the newspaper or maybe on the net. I read that government is planning to allocate about 100 crores for particularly vulnerable tribal groups, PVTGs, particularly vulnerable tribal groups, 100 crores to government for research. Now, if this is your line which is going in your newspapers, or maybe some newspapers or some talks, etc., etc. What should be your thought process? Government ki sangha, PVTGs, particularly vulnerable tribal groups, 100 crores for research. Now you tell me this money, where it will come? Come here. Where this will come? Wait, OIA comes problem to OIA ka sir. Goiche bad marks of budget. Don't think about Goa. Whenever I am trying to speak, it is about national perspective. Nothing related to Goa. आम्ही ट्रायबल डिपार्टमेंट DHE आणि तिथून उरल्यार आम्हाला दुसपले तुम्ही ते फक्त डिस्टावो करीत उरतले. I'll come to Distao's example later. What I am trying to tell you is, think about a statement coming from the central newspapers, okay? PVTGs, 100 crores for research. या पैसे कोणा तरी दिवपाक जाय, ताणे कोणा दितलो? This is one more problem. पैसे announce झाला, गोयचे ते आमकां खबर ना. या पैसे social science. This is a domain of the social science. So it has to come to ICSSR. Correct? ICSSR. Yes. November and I am waiting. Kenna ICSSR किती तरी related to this करतलो. about 10 days back, 10 or maybe 12 days back, there is a special call saying that ICSSR has given a call on PVTGs, okay? And there are 75 tribes in India listed as PVTGs, okay? And हम किस पर है? हमको proposal submit कर रहे हैं. Linkage. Some announcement I see through the it is there. What is the allocation? 100 crores. कितले असा tribes? 75. 75 divided by 100 करता लेके कितला पड़ता? बराबर पड़ता नहीं. Okay? हमका can we do a study? Immediately what I did, I went Google केले ने गोयन के जास्त पहिले गोयन ना try. Meaning PVTG ना. हमचे other tribes are there. I started working on that. Will I get the money? I don't know. But effort I am going to put 100%. Cost so थोड़ा ना. इन्हें मार्केट है पैसे जाए. Now that money is not only for you. फाले सगळे 30 लाख 30 lakhs is there. You can go to ICSSR website. Okay, there is a call, special call. Last date is 10th of Feb. 20th of Feb. Okay, they may extend also. Okay, if you are interested, बरोबर आहे. कितले बरोवची पडटा? Format काय बर beautiful format is there. Okay? It's a very very beautiful format. I will show you that format how I have prepared. In fact, late night I was doing that. Okay? It's such a very designed format. तुमको फक्त मसाला भरपायचे. I mean academic content. 30 लाखाची प्रोविजन असा. आमकां कितले जाय? 30 lakhs मागची न्ही. थोडे मागया. 25 लाख मागया, 27 लाख मागया. 27 लाख हाडून जर सराकडे पावयले. It will come to his college account only. It's a great pride. An institution which is established in 1991, if I am correct, okay, as a higher education institute, okay. And imagine if you start playing this game alternatively, okay, year on year, so much of money can come. At किती खर्च पडतले? As I said, only Saraswat will not do. Have some collaboration. Get some people. I mean, not people. What you have to get? You need to get a name. Because amta te ajun now you know. Because we are still little. We have not. Take a single this. We have not got that thing. Can you do this? Can we do this? The answer is definite yes. How many days it will take to write this 17 pages? For me it took about 6 days. Late night yesterday I finished, my first draft I have finished. This is only a draft. Okay, I finished it last by 11 o'clock yesterday. draft. Can we do this? Now look at my title. I said socio-cultural dynamics. The call was something like this. Look at the call. The call says multidisciplinary studies on PVTGs, particularly vulnerable tribal. कितले असा 75. एकूण I identify करो. You take any one and see the literature. Now friends, there is no literature available on the tribes. आणि जितले literature तुमच्याकडे available ना, तितले बरे का वाईट? तितले बरे लोक, because literature ना झाल्यार तुका बरे. Okay, I look at hardly any literature here. I did a literature survey, okay, prepared a proposal, and this is how it goes. Okay, what is my title? Socio-cultural dynamics and livelihood patterns of Korawa tribe in Karnataka, in your area, Dakshin Kannada, a multidisciplinary study. Now, if he is laughing, you got it, what it is. Why I have used this word? What is multidisciplinary? क्या? अरे कॉल को देखो. What does call say? Call say multidisciplinary. You understood? All multidisciplinary म्हणता, title multidisciplinary का. Like the same way I said, Srinivas का इसमें वो sustainable development, management, etc. So you should match with the calls. You understood? And then you write the proposals like this. Okay, it goes down. Can you scroll down a little bit? So you have a small research abstract. Forget about all these things. Go down. I will not explain all these things, okay? Because this is not a workshop to explain how to write things. But I will tell you very specifically. Sir, wait. Up. Stop. Identification of gaps. Yeah. Go. Now, see, once they are convinced with the problem, the topic, title, then they will deep dive into whether there is real multidisciplinarity or not. I am a geography guy. My basic discipline is geography. Okay? Tribe, geography related kinds corona. Most of the studies are your sociology, ethnographic studies, okay? A bit of socio-cultural demographics, and a small thing about the scheme evaluation. There are different schemes, evaluation of the schemes. What did I do? I collated all these things and identified the gap. आमचे काम कितें एज अ सोशल सायंटिस्ट आमकां गॅप आयडेंटिफाय करपाक जाय. ओके, नाव टू हायलायट देअर अटेंशन, कोणाचे स्क्रीनिंग कमिटी, whoever, to highlight their attention, what did I say? I said gap 1. Can you see gap 1? See, where is my gap? This is, there is no integral study that examines the interplay between socio-cultural dynamics, economic transformation, political marginalization, health challenges in the Koraga tribe. So what did I relate? I said political marginalization is there, health related, socio-cultural dynamics and transformation. All these things are individually studied. आम्ही तसंच करता रे, we take one aspect individually study individually. But आमचा किस्सा आहे, why they are giving 100 crores? They want data set. तांकां data set जाय. आमचे कडल्यान तांकां कितें जाय? आमचे कडल्यान ते ट्रायबाक तूं कितलो बरो करपाक शकता, they are not interested in that. आमी बरें करूं शकना ते तो बरें आसा, because आमी assistant professor. But they want that data. Because this particular data is a repository for you. Meaning, see, what are you looking out for? They want repository. पहले सफाई हो तो ये लगा न करें. मैडम वो कोरागा ट्राइब में कुछ है? अरे बोला हाँ है. Data set is there. So you need a data set. So in the call, if you read this call detail, they said the scientists, the researchers should focus more on generating the data set on any of these tribes. And they didn't 75 tribes are from. Don't say my entire state. The Karnataka, there are 2 tribes. They say entire Karnataka Kortalo, Peje Koragaje Kortalo, Kurubache Kortalo. No, don't do that. One particular tribe and go as deep as possible and generate some data and give it to us. 30 lakhs again. Meaning 30 lakhs with a data set team. Can you do this? The answer is definitely yes. Can you go to Are you bored? Please be frank. Look, I speak a lot. Okay? Can we do this? करू जाता? 100% yes. 30 लाख पड़ा ना कर. I mean, we have to get inclined towards the money. Okay? पैसा. अब इस 30 लाख में मजा देखो. 30 लाख अगले महीने आऊँगा. 30 लाख का ट्रैवल बजट में सके ना. Last circle. You can travel. You can travel extensively. ट्रॅव्हल करून तू ड्रायव्हर बरोबर बसतलो 1-2 वर्ष पडटले. रिसर्च असिस्टंट जालो, फील्ड इन्व्हेस्टिगेटर जालो, असोसिएट रिसर्च असोसिएट जालो, 3 जाण मेळटात. मिनिमम 18 months you can take at least. तांकां तिगांकूय घालपाचो जाय आनी जनरेट डेटा. क्वेश्चनर तुवें रेडी केलाच. हाऊ मेनी यू नो व्हाट इज द पॉप्युलेशन? Population of this tribal set is around 12,000. 12,000. कितले households are about? 650. I have taken 650. 650 households. Can you not visit 650 households? You meaning not you. Can we not visit? Can we not make our research assistant visit 650 households with the entire questionnaire? The answer is yes. Some focus group discussions we will go and participate. Can we not do? Possible. वचपा येवपाक रावपाक खावपाक जेवपाक मजा मारपाक सगळे पयशे दिता म्हणटालो अशें म्हणना बट ताजे कंटेक्स्ट तशेंच आसा. He is ready to give the money. And whether this college it is no DM's college. Other day DM's college had invited. There was one seminar and I suggested one professor's name from IIT Mumbai. Professor Pandey, Professor Ashish Pandey. I said, you know, I was suggesting his name. I said, there's a session you can deliver. I said, sir, I mean, I'll send you the flight ticket. He said, yeah, please don't send these flight tickets. He says, I have so much of money in the name of projects that I don't get time to travel by the flight. That's the system of IITians and the reputed institutions. And आता जर तुमका तिका जर कोई सेमिनार अटेंड करता किती पैसे म्हटले तो म्हणतो ना मॅनेजमेंट पैसे स्वतः अडपाक जाय. It's our so imagine अरे if I look at this at least 30 not all from tribes PVTGs okay 30 1 crore enough. 2 वर्षा take a gap. There is a gap period of about one cooling period okay 1-1.5 वर्षा gap घेवपाचो दुसरेकडे उडी मारपाचे. खंय उडी मारपाचे कितलेशे फंडिंग्स आसा. फंडिंग हाऊस immense money. There's lots of money. The tribal, as I was explaining about the tribal department, there is money, there are no people to ask. I was sitting with our Janardhan sir other day. Janardhan sir वळखता? सगळे वळखना. कित्याक? Because I'm a teacher, I'm a researcher न्ही. Janardhan sir is the chairman of Goa State Research Foundation, Government of Goa. यानी कितें नाव स्टार्ट जालो. Yeah. अब ते वळखना म्हणटा. जाता तशें. Okay. Now the friends, you know, the thing is, I was sitting with him and I was just casually discussing. Saying that यहाँ पे लिखने वाले नहीं है सर, पैसा रेडीमेड है और हमको पैसे मोडो जाए म्हणटा तो. केन्ना मोडो जाए 30 तारखे पयलीं मोडो जाय. नाल्यार गव्हर्नमेंट आनी एक्स्ट्रा एलोकेशन दिवचें ना आनी हे मागना म्हणटा तो. मल्टी डिसिप्लिनॅरिटी प्रपोजलूच ना म्हणटा तो. प्रपोजलूच ना. They are ready to give money. See, Goa State Research Foundation is been formed as a part of the National Research Foundation (NRF) as per the NEP 2020. Now, when you have these foundations coming up, Goa State Research Foundation, NRF, okay, so research foundations आयले म्हणजे पैसे आले आणि त्या पैशांक आम्ही दाव मारून वापरता जाय. इंटेलेक्चुअल दाव. And ताकाच म्हणटा writing the proposal. And writing the proposal, you should not write it very vaguely. So, to budget, you take justification of it. I have asked for about 27. I have asked for about 27 lakhs. Research associate, research assistant, field investigator. 3 जण. तिघांकूय मेळून पर मंथ कितले दिवपाक मेळटा? 47,000, 37,000, 20,000. Okay, look at the budget allocation. 5, 10, 12, almost 13 lakhs. 13 lakhs you can put onto these people, send them into the field and get the data. कोण दिता पैसे? It's a pride. You are employing people. It's almost like a more than a lecture basis teacher. And what they will get a huge exposure to तांकां guide करपाक फक्त आमचे मातशें academic talent तरी मातशें जाय. Okay, and other things, travel, I have asked for travel, where is the travel? Field work and data, 7 lakh मागता हूँ. Field work and data collection, which includes travel, accommodation, everything, 7 lakh. I mean, there is so much of money available. And what does government say? Government meaning the funding organization say you spend the money. म्हणटा पैसे मोड, फक्त पैसे मोडनाका कोण म्हणटा? अकाउंटंट नॉर्मली. तुझा अकाउंटंट आहे तुका बसीन वचपाक मेळटा, फ्लायटीन वचपाक मेळटा. ते सोडले जाल्यार गव्हर्नमेंट म्हणटा बाबा पैसे मोडा आनी गिव मी आवर युटिलायझेशन. ही विल टेल यू एक्झॅक्टली. गिव द युटिलायझेशन. प्लीज अप्लाय फॉर दिस. At the end of this session, if you could sit together, some of the few people, or Alachi mat karna kada. Because I have already put lot of effort. Okay, leave this trial and go to any other trial. Okay, here collaboration. I will explain you one last collaboration thing. I took a collaboration. I had no friends in Karnataka. I found my friend, my colleague from Orissa. I'll tell you about how this play also happens. If you read this research call, it is largely focusing on Orissa. Why Orissa? Yes, that is one of the PVTG is doing 3-4 years. But why Orissa? Oh yeah, if your mind is working. President and Minister of Education, Pradhan. दोघाय म्हणजे Orissa. Why it is PVTGs? Because presidents call it is. He president Zali because she comes from a tribal thing. So they want to encourage. And what did I do? I'm the president ko investigator madam. So what did I do? I went to my counterpart in the tribal region of Orissa. That's Koraput. Koraput is a very tribal part of the Orissa. She's my good friend also. I made her to join as a co-PD, co-project director, and asked for the thing. What did I tell her? I said, आप अपने ट्राइब पे एक कर लेना, मैं यहाँ पे एक कर रहा हूँ. मेरा नाम आप डाल दो co-PD, आपका नाम मैं डाल देता हूँ. Chances of getting both or maybe one is most sure because there is a connection of Orissa. This is called as linking your dots. Such type of things, no resource person will tell and explain you these nitty-gritties. Because this needs, like for example, being a commerce college, if you are investing in shares, okay, share market is not direct, no? Okay, you need to look out for kahan se aayega, company kahan hoga, what is going on. You have to link all the dots, and probably the price will rise at some point of time. It's linking. So imagine Murmu ji becoming a president, Pradhan ji repeating as the Minister of Education again. He is saying that will be focus on PVTGs. Okay, I reading a line. Okay, similarly linking it to the special call. Can you start writing proposal now on any vague topic? The answer is no. 99.9% match na position. Special call element time कितना असता? You get maximum 20 to 25 days or maybe maximum to maximum 1 month. Within 1 month you need to write about 50 pages and submit. Magir yata na yata doesn't matter. If you write 1 or 2 like this, I can assure you your college will definitely be your college will definitely be one of these prime institutions where external funding is coming. You have a research cell, no? Yes. Research cell, no? Everything. Research cell ache काम X person आपण corporation company session deliver कर अपनी. Research cell ache काम के लिए you take 2-3 people, okay, make them train. It is like training your mind in this context, in preparing a specific proposal. If you could do this, ऐसा तो आएगा. दिसता मातशें येताशें कशें येताशें दिसता. ICSSR on an average per year has 100 crore allocation, not about the special call. not the special call. Special call special देता. They have about on an average 100 crores allocation. Website चे बसून त्यांचे जर results check करेल, those who have got, you will be surprised. There is a university called as Amarkantak University, a tribal university. Tribal university ते assistant professor जातात ते सामके एवढे जाम असतात, meaning दिसपा जाम दिसतात ते. त्यांना ते projects awarded असतात. आणि आम्ही the so-called very good literate population of Goa, other day Prasad Olekar ji, we were together some years back, okay, and ICSR director had come, member secretary had come. So Prasad ji said, let us have a meeting. So we had a meeting, and Prasad ji was very said, okay, आमची गोष्ट आहे किती जाऊ शकता. So he said, we sat for a cup of tea and we were discussing about the special grants from the ICSR. We said, sir, गोवा एक ऐसा स्टेट है, कहीं से भी आता है, लेकिन गोवा से बिल्कुल नहीं आता. एक जो आते हैं वो भी आते हैं कहाँ से? एक दो नेता गोयचे, ते खंयचे नेता? खंयचे कॉलेज? Somebody said BITS. Now BITS, is BITS really great college? Not that so. BITS has its name. आता तुका BITS आले तर रुपा मेळटा, गुरु मेळटा, 100% yes. काम तुवें करपाचें, ताचें नांव लावपाचें. NIT, even if this Ayush is there, you take Ayush, you will get grants. So this is how you will have to probably play around this thing. Can I go back to the slides? Okay. So if you are interested, I mean these are some of the things what I told you about networking, how to address the calls. Focus should be on addressing a call. You will not believe me, I was really shocked on this. There was some amount allocation normally coin कितने आता थे. There was a special call on Indian knowledge system, IKS. I'm forgetting about the connecting part of it. There was a special call in IKS which I missed, and I only saw the results. Now the results are also not there. I was just checking whether I can share those results with you. There were only 9 proposals which were accepted on IKS and Indian knowledge system. Indian knowledge system means probably which discipline person can apply for this? Sanskrit. I'll tell you this thing. Very interesting fact. Indian knowledge system means Sanskrit is right? Okay. You know who applied and who got? Applied so who got? Huh? Yes. Any big guesses? Indian knowledge system a project of 3 crores. It's a 3 crore project. Forget about these lakhs. 3 crore project. Which discipline person है? Not it. English. I was so surprised. I was knowing that lady. Look, this English lady. And then I went in to see who are the co-project directors. There are 2 people. Other person is the husband from Gujarat. Okay, she is also from Gujarat. Other person is the husband. Okay, from some Gujarati, some I don't know the subject. Okay, and the third person is the PhD student of this husband. And And luckily, one of my close friend is in the board of management of that university. He called me just last week, and he is asking me, "Well, Srinivas, हम सेल फोन्स ले सकते हैं क्या? मतलब क्लियर कर सकते हैं प्रोजेक्ट के नाम पे? यहाँ पे इन्होंने 7 सेल फोन्स लिए हैं, वो भी कोई सैमसंग और समथिंग, ओके, कर सकते हैं क्या? मतलब एक्सपेक्ट 2 मॉडल आएंगे. So they took cell phones about 7 in the name of data collection. The bill had come to the university and the BOM was deliberating on that, and he called me whether it is possible. Cell phone go सकता? I justification दिल लगा. After future पढ़ना because lot of people only. I justification दिले. You know what justification I have people? Said yeah, you can guess. What justification? I said sorry. हाँ ले सकते हैं, लेकिन उसका यूज क्या होगा? बोले ये लोग जब फील्ड में जाएंगे तो हमें रिकॉर्ड करना पड़ता है. इफ आई टेक अ इंटरव्यू हमें रिकॉर्ड करना पड़ता है. So you can use these cell phones for recording instead of recorders. I mean, money you can spend in many ways. पैसा आना तो चाहिए. I mean, can we think of writing that was 3 crore proposal, sanction was only 2 crores. Can we write a proposal, an institution coming together and writing a proposal for Indian knowledge system? 3 crore project. बरोबर शकता? Daring नाम. होईस्ताम. Yes.
That is Indian knowledge system. Overall, it's basically for literature, like Marathi.
Yeah, I mean, I'm missing out that some technical thing I'm not able to.
I know.
Yeah, could be.
Mythology.
But I am more was thinking about how can an English person have a dare to apply for that. You understood my thing? Okay, I mean, yeah.
They will say knowledge of mythology and everything because this is literature. No?
Knowledge system has to do only with the languages, or we can also do with the indigenous, say for example indigenous healing.
It is related to indigenous, yeah. Anyway, let's come to this. Let's come to the point. Okay. So friends, what I'm trying to do is you have to make a dare. Daring karpa chakta. Research cell has to probably become little active. Research cell don't call people for orientation, presentation. Sit together. 3-4 लोकांक करपाचो and start this trigger. If you feel you need any help, I'm ready to probably render my little help wherever possible. But start it. Okay? Not individual, strictly not individual, with collaboration, with multidisciplinarity as much as possible, so that you have. Just go to this. Just skip this UGC. Don't have a look on the UGC. ICSR on an average has about 60 to 100 crores. Okay? These are not, special calls are not included in this. I'll leave this, madam. Madam, the research says, one of the research, very interesting research. 83.9% of the people who click photographs on the cell phone during presentations do not refer back to the pics. So it hurts. Okay? This is about 300 samples, 300 FTPs. This was an FTP. Okay, this is INR there. Okay, so what you will do is remember 100 crores annually. About on an average 5-6 calls will definitely come. Okay, try to apply for those calls which are very near to the closure of the financial years. Like now I am applying very close because they are in a hurry to spend the money. Okay, that is more important. DSC is there. More important is, have you visited this ANRF website, SERB? This is Science and Engineering Research Board. It is basically for science, but here they are coming with a special allocation for social sciences. Please visit this, very important. Most of the people go and visit ICSR for funding, but ANRF is Anusandhan National Research Foundation. Like the way you have GSRF, Goa State Research Foundation, this is National Research Foundation, Anusandhan National Research Foundation. There is a website called as SERB, you can just Google it. Okay, here there are many calls. Okay, and a very interesting feature is, there is a special money allocated for all the ladies. When women call, women are encouraged. I mean, you have to look out for that. Other women, science and technology. Okay, mostly science and technology. Then what you will have to do? You will have to look out for a science and technology person in IIT, NIT, wherever it is, and you also do collaborate. Paisa to aayega. Because women don't apply. Average. Make a study if you have some time. तुमचे project सुरू असताना, TY has third year has project system now still. Okay. TY भुरग्यांक सांगपाचें, आपलें काम करून घेवपाचें. कितें करपाचें? ICSRच्या वेबसायटीचेर वचपाचें, or any funding agencyच्या वेबसायटीचेर वचपाचें. And he tried to download the result sheet of last 20 years. Tablet करून काढा. And see how many male, how many female, how many universities, how many colleges, etc. Data ready-made आएगा तुमका. You will get a clear picture that अरे ये तो women तो आते ही नहीं यहाँ पे. मतलब ladies don't apply. And even if they apply, they don't. Why they don't apply? Because you have additional responsibility. So women has a special allocation. Like how the girl child scholarship was there as per the UGC, okay, women has special allocation. So such things you can capture and start writing. And of course, Goa State Research Foundation, Please try to have an eye for looking out the problem. Last, how much time I have? 2 more minutes, 2-3 minutes. Last, I will tell you. You all are harassed by calling to the universities for recordings. Extra work? Yes, this is getting recorded. Okay, okay. Yeah, if possible. Yeah.